Many of you probably watched what took place between Donald Trump and Zelenskyy. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you might be thinking to yourself, "Oh my God, Donald Trump just screwed up." However, as a lifelong practitioner of martial arts, strategy, and philosophy, let me explain the difference between what you believe you witnessed and what actually happened. Donald Trump has been under constant political persecution since the beginning of his first term. Over time, he has learned to be patient and calculated. Tonight, Zelenskyy was invited to the Oval Office. However, both Trump and JD Vance knew exactly what Zelenskyy was going to do. He would use this opportunity in front of the American people to make a power play. Both Trump and Vance anticipated this. When Zelenskyy began appealing to the emotions of the American people, JD Vance stepped in, accusing him of disrespecting Donald Trump. This was brilliant strategy. It's important to understand that Zelenskyy is trying to gain access to NATO. Trump knew this but could not allow it to happen. If Ukraine joins NATO, the United States would be bound by NATO's collective defense agreement. An attack on one is an attack on all. Now consider the larger implications. Ukraine and Russia despise each other. If Ukraine were to become a NATO member, any future skirmish between them would obligate the United States to enter into direct conflict with Russia. This would mean World War III. And if that happened, China would have to choose a side. They would almost certainly align with Russia. So what you witnessed tonight was a setup. Trump and JD Vance knew that the only way to achieve peace was to strategically align, at least on the surface, with Russia. Why? Because Russia would never sign a peace treaty if Ukraine were admitted into NATO. This is why Trump dismantled Zelenskyy's argument. And when Zelenskyy, seeing his play failing, tried to backtrack and offer a treaty, Trump refused. Zelenskyy's real intent was clear. He would not agree to peace unless security guarantees were in place. But what was he actually saying? That NATO must accept Ukraine. However, Russia would never agree to peace, knowing that NATO, their historical adversary, would surround them. Zelenskyy, Putin, and Trump all knew this. Zelenskyy, thinking he had Democratic support, believed he could make this bold move on live television. But Trump and Vance saw right through it and outmaneuvered him. They knew that, in the short term, Democrats and the media would try to use this moment against them. But they also knew they had 2 years before midterms to prove their strategy was the right one. So they held their ground, brilliantly so. Now, Zelenskyy will have no choice but to back down and accept Trump's terms. But here's the genius part. Trump is actually protecting Ukraine without dragging the United States into war. By negotiating a mineral deal, Trump ensures that Americans will be involved in Ukraine's mining industry. This prevents Russia from launching an invasion, because attacking Ukraine would mean endangering American lives, something that would force the United States to respond. Trump played both sides like a master chess player. In the end, Zelenskyy will have no choice but to concede, because without US support, Ukraine cannot win a prolonged war against Russia. And once US companies have mining operations in Ukraine, Putin will be unable to attack without triggering massive international consequences. Don't underestimate Donald Trump. In this game of chess, he's 10 moves ahead of everyone.